So it's been a few weeks since Katseye's Wild Heart movie has come out. I think it's been about a week since Wild has come out, and I'm still a little bit confused on what was the purpose of the movie. I mean, when I heard they were releasing a movie, obviously I knew they were not going to really talk about Manon's hiatus or anything of that sort, but when I saw it was edited and produced by the same people that did Dream Academy, I had a little bit of hope that we would get like a storyline or more creative direction. But the movie was basically just TikTok clips and interviews. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kinda Wayne King. Welcome to my channel. All that I ask is that you press like and subscribe so that you can join the kingdom. Today's drink of choice, we have the Kyon Special and Iced Americano. Y'all know I love these. I love a good, nice iced Americano, something that's not so sweet. Earlier, one of you inspired me to have a brown sugar latte, so I had one of those and it was so good. But when it comes down to yapping and sitting down, it's always gonna be me and a cold brew or me and an iced Americano. Also, my birthday is coming up. It's September 26th, and I would love to see you all on my Instagram. I've been seeing you follow me already, but I want to see more of the kingdom over there so that, you know, when I post something on Instagram for my birthday, we can all just like chit chat and kiki in the comments, you know? No, all the kingdom knows, but like, girl, I am scared of Instagram, okay? Instagram scares me, so I would love to see y'all over there. And we also have a Discord going on where we talk about everything, whether it's Katseye or whatever's going on, and I just love hearing everyone that's in the Discord. So if you want to join, it's in the description below. Now, with that out of the way, let's get into everything that's been going on. I just want to give a little disclaimer as well. Normally in these videos, I could play clips or play little things, but listen, it's a movie. I know how they play about the little copyright laws. Y'all are not sending me to jail, okay? So y'all are not locking me up. Y'all are not putting me away. So I am so sorry. For the sake of this video, I cannot play any clips from the movie. I can't do any of that. Also, I think it's important to note that when I say Katseye or when I'm talking about the movie and the Katseye girls being in the movie, obviously when I say the negative parts of this movie, I'm not talking bad on the girls. We all know, like, if you're watching this right now and you think that Katseye was in the room editing this movie, click off. Just click off. Like, I hate to be like that, but just click off because Katseye did not edit the movie. So when I talk about Katseye in the movie and the things that are going on, know that we're talking about the staff and the team behind it. Okay, now that we cleared that up, I feel like whenever I heard that Katseye was getting a film a few months ago, everyone was so confused. Like, I was confused, you were confused, because we were all like, Manon was on a hiatus since February and is currently still on a hiatus and we have no updates on her. What's going on? Are we just going to get old footage? Are they going to address her? Are they going to talk about her? Is this going to be an announcement of her exit? It was not. It was literally none of that. And you know what? I'm happy that they didn't announce that she's leaving Katseye or leaving the group in the movie, because I felt like that just would have been so shady. But I also recognize that they're basically at a lose-lose situation here with not doing anything with Manon in this movie. Like, they didn't have any direct Manon interview. They had a lot of BTS footage of her, but we pretty much saw a lot of that footage. In the movie, they talked about Manon being on hiatus, and it was very, very brief. Like, I'm not joking. It literally went from them talking about Manon, and in the film, when they were talking about Manon, it was very positive. It was very nice, and like, I can respect that, and I understand it was a lose-lose situation no matter how they bring up Manon. But it was just, it just felt like very, not unnatural, but it just felt like they were being like, oh, here you go. Here's Manon. Here you go. Like, it's just like they threw her in there so that no one said anything versus like taking the time to make it a little bit better. For instance, in the film, they talked about Manon being on a hiatus and they were showing old clips of her meeting with fans, and they were talking, Laura was talking very positively about her. And then Danielle was talking about how they are best friends or were best friends, or they were living together as roommates and they got really close. And Sophia was also talking about her. Like, everyone said very positive, nice things about her. And obviously, I was not expecting the movie to be like a let's bash Manon or paint her in a bad light, but I was getting scared, okay, girl? Those editors are crazy, all right? You never know, like, what side the editors are gonna take. But just when I thought it was getting good and they were talking about Manon, Megan comes in, and this is no hate to Megan, but Megan comes in, she's like, when I was on a hiatus, I was only thinking about X, Y, and Z, and I was like, whoa. I was like, wait, is this it? Like, we only get this, what, 4 or 5 minute part about Manon, and then we're switching off, like, out of this whole movie. Like, it just felt like they're really trying to erase Manon from the group Katseye and her impact in Katseye. Listen, I guess she's in a hiatus, but I know y'all have footage with her. Don't, like, let's not play. Let's be real while we're not seeing a lot of wild BTS content, because we know that Manon is in some of this footage and they're not going to put it out. Particularly with Unlove You, one of their best songs, the best song off Wild if you ask me, but you know, everyone loves it. I love it. I think it's a good song, but I know that they have footage of Manon recording for that song simply because when Laura was talking about it in the film, she was wearing a similar outfit that on that day, I believe Manon was also wearing like an outfit for the Grammy rehearsals. It was all around that time. And obviously, as we know, once Manon went on hiatus, they kind of removed her from the whole Wild project and reshot things. So I just find it so interesting that, like, if you really want to paint Manon in a good light and you really cared about her in the group, you would at least show her recording these parts of the song or recording some stuff and doing some BTS. Honestly, that lopsided bun, I think it was a bad call to remove Manon from everything and re-record everything, because this just makes this makes no sense. I think this film would have been so much better if we saw BTS footage of Manon recording on the songs, of her practicing and doing things for Pinky Up. But instead, they acted like she did not exist in the process at all when we know that is not true. There's even portions in this film when they're practicing Pinky Up, and it's just so shady because it's just like, we all saw the leaked video of Pinky Up and them practicing. That wasn't in the movie, of course. What was in the movie is of them like recreating it, basically. It was another practice day, like months later, and it's just like, what are we doing this for? I also feel like when they were talking about Manon in this movie, they couldn't say anything specific. They couldn't be like, Manon's gone for her health, or Manon is sick, or Manon is not, because all of the Katseye fans know, all the icons know, we know, you and I know, the kingdom knows, she's not sick, she's not unwell. Manon has told us over the last 6 months, over the last half of a year, that she's been healthy, she's been well. So Hypex Evan couldn't come out and put a movie saying like, you know, Manon is sick and she's gone for her health. That's just simply not true. And I feel like they were really tiptoeing around the whole situation because they knew like, if we say Manon is sick, they're gonna get attacked. The girls are gonna get attacked. So they just really had to like play it very weirdly. Which is why I feel like they had Lara talk about Manon and how they loved her, and then Megan talk about, in my hiatus when I was gone, I was anxious and I had to deal with my anxiety and I was sick and all this stuff. And I just feel like that was a little bit of shade to Hypex Geffen and like the company, because we all know Manon is not enjoying her time off hiatus. Well, I'm not gonna say she's fully not, because of course she's enjoying her time being with her friends and her family, but you know, she loves this. She wants to participate in her career and, you know, be with the icons, be with her fans and like perform. So like, it's like, it's just a bittersweet, like, I don't know. Not even bittersweet, girl. That's not bittersweet, girl. It's a sad situation, girl. It's a lose-lose. It's just sad. It's just sad. I also feel like Sophia as the leader, they talked about her in the movie, and then she also spoke about being the leader, being a team builder, and being at service for everyone. And I just feel like with her now being on hiatus and knowing that it's like a mental health thing and anxiety, I just feel like this is really Hypex Effen's fault. And I hate that it's taking Sophia to go on a hiatus for the girls and Hypex Effen to like see that it's not just a Manon thing. But they're being overworked. And obviously, yes, okay, we knew they were being overworked, but in the sense of like, girl, there should be more systems in place, more managers, more people around them to help out with Sophia. Like, yes, Sophia is a leader, but Sophia should not be doing everything for them. In a lot of K-pop groups, and since they're in a K-pop company, a lot of leaders for these groups will be the ones communicating with the managers, telling people what we want, what we don't want, figuring out schedules, where everyone is, what time we need to be somewhere, and coordinating a lot of that stuff. And that's a lot to deal with on top of being in this girl group that at the magnitude of that Katseye is, you know, as big as Katseye is, that's a lot to deal with. And I feel like, especially with Manon leaving, this really put a lot on Sophia. This is not one of my theory videos, so I'm not going to go into what role Sophia played into Manon's hiatus, if she played a role or any of that, because that doesn't matter right now. But I just think that once Manon left, they kind of were like, okay, we're fine S5, we're going to work S5. But slowly, once they started realizing the issue is not because Manon's lazy or Manon's arrogant, like the lopsided bun has been feeding them for years, when they realize that the error is the system that they're working in and, you know, carrying on by saying, you know, we love to show up for each other, we love to work hard. When another member then goes on hiatus for mental health, the girls only have to realize like, no, this is actually a tough situation. This is a lot going on, and it's not just now a Manon thing. And I feel like now they're actually taking mental health seriously and the whole situation seriously. But I'm like, we're doing all of this at the expense of Sophia, Manon, and now Megan whenever she gets sick, and now there's gonna be 3 people on stage. It's just like, now we wanna listen. And I'm happy they're listening now, but like, I feel like it's too late. Manon's not coming back. I don't know. I don't want to give anything like firm, but I just feel like baby Manon's not coming back. Also, when I think about a Katseye film, I think about Dream Academy. Like you kind of have to. That's how they got their start. That's how they were shown to everyone. I think with Dream Academy, there was like, listen, I know I've criticized it and said it's been bad, but Dream Academy had very good editing, okay? Those storylines were very strong because they knew they had to, you know, pull the audience in. And I think the difference with Dream Academy and this Katseye Wild Heart film is that they already know that Katseye has fans, so they're not worried about a storyline or creating something good because they know that people are going to buy it regardless. And I think that's just very lazy and sloppy. I think why spend so much money making a film and having a team to make something so poorly done? Like, I'm not expecting them to have a crazy storyline and drama, but I think you would want to follow their lives more closely and actually have real intimate moments and show what the girls are doing behind the scenes. I feel like with Dream Academy, what really got us pulled in and felt like we were so immersed with the show is that, you know, they showed us what they were going through as they were going through it and talking about it, and the confessionals were happening kind of like, you know, closer to the time. But in this movie, they have a bunch of confessionals, and it's like, they just picked one day to sit down and film all the confessionals for this movie, and then they pieced together random TikTok clips, random YouTube video clips, random BTS stuff, and put it all together and said that it was a movie. And I'm sorry, Hypex Effen, but y'all make too much money to do something like that. I feel like this was a very poorly done movie, especially now that we're being like 2 or 3 weeks after the fact. I'm like, This was a cash grab. This was a cash grab, and it feels like the whole Wild era is slowly being looped into a cash grab. Also in Dream Academy, when they had evaluations, I feel like it was showcased a lot better than versus in this movie. Obviously, they're not having evaluations now, but they rehearse a lot and they practice, and I just felt like, you know, I love their choreographers. Well, I love everyone. Love everyone. Love everyone, all right? I don't know if I'm a fan of their work all the time, but I feel like some of the clips were just like filler moments. Like, why are we talking about like what they're doing? Like, we're wasting screen time with their dancers, and I know it's a BTS moment and they want us to see everything behind the scenes, but I just felt like a real behind the scenes moment would be us like, girls, show us them messing up a little bit more. Show us them talking about coming over it and working harder. Show us the criticism. Like, there were some parts like the Coachella moment where they got criticism and they were like, that can't happen tomorrow. You need to work hard. You need to do this or whatever. Like, yes, that was cool, but it just felt like it just all felt fake. Before you come and being like, it's a movie, of course it's fake. Listen, fake can be done well, all right? If you're gonna sell me something, make it well. That's the whole point. Like, it's entertainment. I want to be entertained. I don't want to just have cheap entertainment. You put on a good show. That's their job. Like, at the end of the day, I know it's all entertainment. I know that it's all fake, and you know there's some real moments in there, but there's a way to make it so much better. I'm gonna drift off from the movie for a little bit because I think that this really ties into the whole Wild era. I think that, listen, they're selling a product, they're selling us their music, they're selling us brands and sponsors and all of that, and I totally get it, but there's a way to do it so well. I spoke about this on TikTok a little bit, but I just don't understand why with Wild, the first pictures we got was of them on a white wall. Who approved that? Who approved that? What sense does that make? To have Katseye girls all on a white wall, and not even a group picture of them on a white wall, but them all separately on a white wall. What was the thought process behind that? Do they look good? Debatable. The outfit, the girls themselves look good. Outfits are debatable, but it fits the Wild concept. I get it. But on a white wall, when you have $1 billion brand backing you, is like, who is doing this right now? Because then when we look at Beautiful Chaos and we look at the perfection of a set that they had when the girls all looked so good, it was just so good. Whether you like the clothes or the concept, the girls were glowing. This was a moment. This was an era, really. And then you look at Wild and it's like the first pictures we get for Wild are them on a white wall. This is why I feel like this era is being like sabotaged or is just being cheaped out and the budget is getting lower and lower, which I don't understand because Hive has so much money to pour into them. I don't get the budget cut here. I feel like the budget has been cut with this movie. The budget has been cut in the Wild era, especially like with the songs we're getting. Why are they doing a third EP? Like, what, a third EP with no album is like a little bit crazy. I hope that their next project is an album with like good songs, good, like actual good songs. I think they need to put Lara in the studio and like, you know, let them have a say in what they're doing more, because this is honestly just a mess. And I mean, even if we don't want to look at the first picture released from Wild, we can look at the second set or even the ones as them in the tuxedos. Listen, I get it, like a white wall picture can be cute for a moment, but I feel like you're selling an album. You're selling an album, give us a whole experience, go out there. And like, what is wild? I'm sorry, but like, what is wild about a white wall? There's nothing that, like, for your concept to be wild and crazy, what is wild and crazy about a white wall? Beautiful Chaos was more wild than these white wall pictures. Like, there's nothing wild about a white wall. There's no way you can convince me that $1 billion brand can just afford a white wall. And this just ties me back to the movie, because a lot of the shots in the movie were like iPhone shots. I'm gonna be real with you. They were like iPhone shots. And listen, I'm not saying they have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on an expensive camera, but I would think if you're doing a documentary that's produced and edited, you would use a nicer camera for a lot of the shots. Now, obviously some of the shots were on a nicer camera. Like when they did a confessional, of course, that's a whole set. They have a nice camera, nicer lighting. But most of the movie was not like that. Let's be real. Most of the movie was not like that. When they were in the dance rooms, those were iPhone footages. When they were traveling, those were iPhone footages. And like a lot of documentaries do that, but when we had Dream Academy, where we saw 4K HD camera, mic packs, good audio, all of this, and then this movie, we're not getting that. It's like, this movie was rushed. Like, this movie was rushed and it was just done so poorly. It kind of makes me wonder, like, was Manon, like, no, yeah, it makes me wonder, like, was Manon in this movie more? And did they have to cut it out and add, like, filler or what? Because when we look at this movie, a lot of the confessionals were filmed very recently. Like, very, very recently. I want to say maybe, like, within 2 months of like when they did this film, because they had Coachella bits in it. I want to say they filmed it like a month and a half or 2 months after Coachella, and then they like put this out, because it just doesn't make sense why it's like so poorly done. But you know what I will do? I will give them props, okay? I will give them props here, because that lopsided bun was in there very minimally. I think I saw her in the background of one clip. I think, like, I'm not even joking. I think I saw her in the background of like a few clips, and I was like, oh girl, like I got scared. It was a horror movie. Like, I was like, oh no, like, I'm just happy that, you know, they kept it to a minimum. That's my only pro I can give here. I think all the Katseye girls did what they were told in this movie, and they talked very well about Manon. They talked very well about the other girls and themselves and their experience being in this group and like the pressures that they face. Beautifully done by the girls. My problem was with the staff, the editing, the direction for this whole era, because the movie is called what, like Wild Hearts? This is the wild era, baby. Nothing about this movie was wild. Nothing about the album was wild besides the bad music. These, like, it's just so weird. It's truly just so weird. I remember talking to the Kingdom about this movie when it first came out and like what they had thought about it. Mickey, if you're watching this, hi. Thank you so much for giving me a lot of the insight for this movie. But they made a very good point about this Katseye movie, the Katseye film, and it was just that there was this subliminal message going on behind where like the girls would work very hard and they would be very tired and say how hard things were, but they would always wrap it up by being like, we do this because we love our fans, or we love you guys so much, and like we don't want to disappoint you. And I don't know how I feel about that. Like, I don't. And I'm not saying that, like, girl, love your fans, work hard for your fans. Like, you're supposed to. Yes, I get that. But I just think, like, when we know how hard you guys are working, how tired you guys are, and you guys are constantly being sick and all of this stuff, you know, girl, the fans want you to be okay. Like, we don't want you to work this hard. Like, I'm going to be real. Most of the Katseye fans are like, girl, slow it down. Like, go lay down. Like, we love you, yes. Like, we thank you for doing this for us, but like, slow it down, all right? I don't know. Not towards the girls. I get torn a little bit whenever I get into this thought process and like really think about it, because half of me is like, I don't want them to be like, we're doing this for the fans. I want them to be like, we're doing this because we love to do this. But the other half of me is like, girl, listen, when you're in this label situation, like, girl, trust me, I know they're being fed these certain lines to be like, we do this for the fans and we love you, and it's fan service. I totally get it. But I'm gonna be real, I do feel like sometimes they're overworked. Not even sometimes. Most times they're overworked, and I feel like it's hard to do this for the fans. It's hard to do it because you love it when you're worked to this extreme. Okay, editing Kyon here, much later with more thought. I think when I saw Beyonce's film for the Renaissance, she was talking about how she went through surgery and all the things she had to overcome to, you know, put on this tour and do everything. I think that the Katseye film could have been structured better if it was like that. Once again, obviously not comparing them to Beyonce, but I just think that Katseye has a very big team behind them. I think they could have showed us the hard times that they've been through and showed us the behind the scenes process of all that and how they overcame it, and showed us that it was for the fans, versus talking about how hard everything is and then very cheaply at the end being like, but we love the fans, it's for the fans. I think it comes off very different when, you know, you show us the process behind it and what you had to overcome to get where you are now, versus showing us all the hard comings and all the things that you had to do and then just throwing at the end like, do it because I love the fans, I did it because I love y'all. Do you understand? It reads a little bit different for me, at least. I don't know how else I can explain that. I hope you guys understand that. Which is why I feel like this movie was very fake and done very poorly. I feel like, you know, it's okay to love your fans and love the art and love doing this, but I just feel like when your fans know how badly you guys are being overworked, you have a member on hiatus and you guys are barely like talking about her in this film, you're jumping around her, you guys are saying that you'd love to do this for your fans, and you're showing all these rough moments that you guys are going through, but ending off by being like, we love you guys. It just comes off as like, sort of like a cry for help. It's like, Katseye girls, are y'all okay? Like, is everything okay? And to keep everything completely real, this movie, I was not a fan of it. Let me know if you watched the movie or if you liked it. This wild move, this wild EP, was not a fan of it. Like, I was not. Hootie Fruity, like, I'm still not a fan of. Animal, I'm not a fan of. Pinky Up was cool. Like, I actually like it. You know, that's my song. I'm just... Bring Manon back. Give us an update on Manon. Let Manon go solo. Tell us what's going on. Also, we saw Manon recently. She posted up some pictures of her with dogs, and I was like, okay, you're alive. Like, we love that. I think she also posted the dogs with like her man David, and everyone was like, okay, wait, they're not broken up. And I'm like, low-key, maybe they're not. Like, maybe they just unfollow each other so they can like deal with whatever they're dealing with, you know? That's her business, girl. That's your business. That's your man. I'm not worried about that, girl. Let us know if you're gonna sing. Let us know when you're coming back, because baby, we miss you. Okay, we need you. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure you press the like, and then let me know what you ate or drink. Okay, in this video, I asked at the end because I wanted to see like the real ones at the end. In this video, let me know what you ate or drink and what you were doing while watching this, because I do want to know. Also, I just want to say that we're really close to 20,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you, and I love y'all, and thank you so much for like supporting me and being in the kingdom. Like, I am just so excited, and I have so many cool things in the future for us. So I love y'all. I'm working on something new for you guys, so I hope that you guys will enjoy it. But I'll see you guys next week. We're gonna do some mistreatment of the Manon series next week and talk about some other things. But yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna go edit this video now and finish my ice Americano, okay? Cheers to a good weekend.